Hey guys, this is Tom with DraftMagic.com, and it's been a while since I've recorded a video. I got pretty busy with work, but I'm very excited to be back here. I had a chance to play in a real-life PTQ, and I ran a deck that was somewhat similar to this, kind of more of like a blue-white mid-range. Ended up going 5-3, and was actually very happy with my results just because the first two rounds I ran into kind of more of like a control deck. I wasn't really expecting to see a lot of control. The only other loss that I had during the tournament was against a Bant Pod, which was a very close game 3. So some of the things that were a little bit different in the actual deck that I ran, instead of running Hero Bladehold, I ran the new M13 Attended Knight, just to kind of see how he worked out. I also was running 4 Restoration Angel. I did not have the Dismember, and then I also was running just 2 Mental Misstep main deck. In addition, I was not running Talia, and I was running Gather the Townsfolk. And kind of what I found is that, you know, looking at the deck, the really strong points, Blade Splicer was amazing, as I expected. Mirran Crusader was an absolute all-star. I mean, against the zombie matchups that I was up against, and also against the green decks, I mean, it was just a total beating. Especially being able to go into Game 2 and Game 3 with Destiny on Crusader. I was up against a red-green deck, and I literally went turn 2 Honor the Pure, turn 3 Crusader, turn 4 Destiny, and that was basically the match. So it was very powerful. Some of the other cards that, you know, kind of played a big role was Serra Avenger. I put in 4 Serra Avenger, and I was very, very happy with Avenger. The ability to kind of go over the top and have vigilance, and then in addition, if you have Honor the Pure in play, you just brick their Angel or their Delver, and so, you know, very happy with Avenger. Especially if you get Vapor Snagged, you can replay it easily and inexpensively, and that was kind of a big nice thing there. The other cards that I really was happy with, I did use the full 4 Oblivion Ring in the board, and they were just excellent. I mean, I don't think that I would want to play even 3. Kind of the move of having it in the board as opposed to the main deck, simply especially introducing Talia, which I didn't have in the tournament, but I think will be very strong. Talia and O-Ring is not exactly a combo, but you know, just because, you know, paying the extra mana really hurts a lot, and but I think there's a lot of decks you want to bring in the full 4 against. You know, any of the Nyapod decks, red-green aggro, zombies, really basically almost anything except Delver. O-Ring is very bad against Delver because it's very expensive. Vapor Snag is pretty awkward, and so kind of the other card that I played, I did not have the War and Peace in the board at the time of the tournament, and kind of the move has been to bring them in more against the control decks. It's very, very good against control, and any version of tokens or Lingering Souls, which a lot of the control decks run. But I want to take a special moment here just to mention how powerful Safe Passage was. It was an absolute beating. Against zombies, I was able to just basically, you know, you're sort of in a racing scenario where you're swinging all out and they're not blocking and so on and so forth, and to have the extra turn where you just don't die and then kill them, I mean, it just, Safe Passage was amazing. I also used it against red-green, and he, you know, went Bonfire for 3, get your team, Safe Passage, and I swung back for the win. So very happy with Safe Passage right now, especially in, you know, up and against Bonfire, which is, you know, out there in a lot of decks. So kind of the move to bring in Talia main deck seemed pretty obvious, just because I was looking at what Gather the Townsfolk was doing, and it really wasn't doing much. It pretty much would create tokens that would sometimes buff Champion, but Champion would often die to either Gut Shot or just get Vapor Snagged. In addition, you know, they always died to Bonfire. They didn't beat any creatures, even as 2/2s, and so it just seemed very awkward. So just decided to cut the Gather the Townsfolk out completely, more or less replace it with Talia and a Dismember, just because some of the Delver decks are now running 3 Hero of Bladehold as of the last week or so, and Hero of Bladehold is an absolute beating, and so being able to have some kind of answer against bigger threats like Hero, or Thragtusk, or just bigger creatures that are out there, like being able to have it set up. I mean, there's a number of threats that it really helps out against. Also in the zombie matchup, it's very good against the man, I'm just blanking on this, but the 4/1 flying haste guy, the Falkenrath Aristocrat. But then bringing in Hero of My Own just really made sense, because being able to just have Honor the Pure plus Hero just seems like a total beating. Now with your Hero and Honor the Pure, number one, you can block and kill their hero, and then you attack for more. And especially after taking out Attended Knight was definitely good. I mean, with Honor the Pure, 5 power, 3 of which is first strike for 3 mana, is pretty good, but it just isn't exactly what you want to be doing. Hero Bladehold is just better in pretty much every situation, and that's kind of why I chose the move to cut down to 3 Restoration Angel, just because with only Blade Splicer as the real target to be blinking, I mean, you can still blink other cards to get a little bit more counters on Champion, but it just, it's not quite as good. So I think cutting down to 3 was just fine, and making room for the extra heroes. In addition, I don't think you want many more than about 6 4-drops, just because the deck is somewhat mana hungry, and if you have like a handful of 4-drops, then you have 2 or 3 mana, and you just don't get there, you can just lose. So anyways, we're going to be taking it into a 2-round matchup here just to see how it works, and we will see you in just a moment. Okay guys, here we are for a 2-man queue with the blue-white humans deck, and let's give it a shot. So I'm kind of excited to see how this translates to the online meta. Right now I know there's a lot of interesting stuff being done in online, a lot of decks that I didn't see at the PTQ, so not sure how well we're going to be prepared for some of the newer strategies, Mono Green Infect, Blue Green Infect, a couple of other like Pox decks or Trading Post, and actually I had a chance to play against Trading Post round 1 of the PTQ, and it was a pretty close game. The 4 O-rings really helped out a lot. Didn't quite get there, got to 3 games, but we will see how this goes. So I really like having 3 Mental Misstep main deck. I think it gives us a lot more early game, which is very important, just because with Blade Splicer and Hero, our deck is a little bit slower now. Okay, so it could be up against like blue-black zombies, or some version of Control, maybe Tezzeret. Not really sure, but either way, he'll be dropping down Honor the Pure, and especially if he has Curse of Death's Hold, this is very good right now. The one problem with Mental Misstep is it doesn't allow you to F6 anymore, which I really miss. Okay, so here we're just going to go ahead and name humans. And since we're up against black, I think it might be a little bit better game to drop out the Mirran Crusader. You're not countering that. Okay, great. So Runechanter's Pike, a little interesting. I'm not sure exactly what we're up against. It's possible some of the control decks have started picking that up with a bunch of sweepers and removal, and then it's using kind of the Runechanter's Pike to get there, I guess. But, I mean, I've been so pleased here with, I think we're just going to go ahead and misstep that. I've been so pleased with the Crusader, you know, just against green decks and against the zombie decks. It's been doing really, really good work. So here, we're definitely just going to go ahead and probably drop down another Crusader. One other thing we could do, we could like go ahead and just drop out like Blade Splicer, because Crusader is probably a better guy to have on an empty board. Kind of hedge our bets a little bit, especially if he has like Black Sun Zenith or something like that. So, I mean, then again, if we drop the other Crusader, like he just dies next turn if he doesn't block with Nexus. So, yeah, because we swing for 6 now, so he drops to 12, and then next turn he just dies, unless he blocks. Yeah, you know, I think maybe... I think it might be worth just dropping the other Crusader out here. Like, he could have Black Sun. I suppose Black Sun for 3 is a pretty big game. Like, if he doesn't have Black Sun, he does just basically die. I guess I'm just going to hedge my bets here a little bit, because I think it's a little better to have Mirren on an empty board. Especially if he saves like a Dismember or something like that. And I mean, if we play Honor the Pure next turn, he dies anyways, so... Okay. Guess he's just gonna go for the Infect route. So if he has like Mutagenic Growth or something here, I guess he just gets us. And that was a very lucky draw, because now we can just kill him. Otherwise we would have been a little bit short. We've done 8, 11, didn't quite get there. Luckily we do have the double Honor to make it happen. That should be game. Okay. So blue-black Infect, interesting. I guess against blue-black Infect, we want to definitely be able to take care of his Runechanter's Pike. What do we want? Definitely bring in Negate. I did see some Graveyard Recursion. He did have the, God, what's the name of that there? Well, anyways, the 3 then 7 mana cost, sorcery. What do we want to cut here? Like, Angel's still quite good because it can block his flying Infectors. Splicer is still great because it stops the Phyrexian Crusader, which I'm sure he's playing. He probably has like Blighted Agents. I don't know how good Misstep is against him. Like, I mean, he might have Vapor Snag. He could have like, I guess, Virulent Wound, perhaps. So like, he's probably running like Phyrexian Crusader, Blighted Agent, Nexus. Not sure what else. Maybe like Ichor Claw. Like, Talia doesn't really do much against many of those cards. Kind of slows down our own spells. We can't really effectively O-ring anything except for the Blighted Agents. Definitely bring in Safe Passage. Probably want the second Cage. Once again, I'm not sure how good Misstep is. Image is going to be good. I think Honor is still quite good for Mirren Crusader. I think because he's running blue, we can't really get away with running Destiny, just because he could blow us out there potentially. Like, O-ring we can use against his Pike, which is actually probably not bad. The question is, what do we cut? Kind of tempted to cut Misstep. I don't know how good it's going to be against him. I guess I don't know how good Grafdigger's Cage is going to be either, but Hero might be a little too slow. So if we like cut Hero, bring that in. I guess we'll try this. Oops. A little bit short here. Oh. Do we have 61 cards in the main deck? Alright. So I guess we accidentally have 24 lands. Whoops. This hand's a little iffy. I mean, we definitely need like colored mana sources. Maybe we can still sort of fake it. Kind of want to mulligan this hand, but like it does have some access here. If we draw like any other land, we're fine. I think because we're on the draw, I'm going to try to keep it here. And I guess like if he's running like Ponder and stuff like that, we want to bring the Missteps back in. So hopefully we draw some colored mana here pretty soon. Spellskite, okay. That's a little annoying. Guess we just sit. So I guess like next turn, if we don't draw any land, we're just going to have to go. Yeah, there's the Blighted Agent. Yeah. Okay, so now we can go ahead and drop out the Mirran Crusader. And try to start racing here somewhat soon. So like next turn we can go like Honor the Pure Avenger. I think that's pretty much our plan. Actually we can't go Honor the Pure Avenger because we don't have enough white sources. Guess we'll just like drop out Crusader. We could also just go ahead and just drop like O-Ring to get rid of his Spellskite as a blocker. I think Crusader is probably a little bit better, though. Enchanter's Pike is pretty big game. Okay, so that actually worked out. So now we can go ahead and go Angel on this one. Actually, no, we want to go Human here. So then we can go Champion, Crusader. I like that a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. We could also go like Champion O-Ring, which wouldn't be the worst. No, we're gonna go Champion Crusader. It's just better. Because then we're gonna have a 4/4 champion that can get in. This way, next turn we can O-Ring his Spellskite. Okay, so I guess he's got the Doomblade. Or like if we draw a land, we can go Honor the Pure O-Ring. So if we don't draw land next turn, I guess we can just go O-Ring, bash in for 10. Forbidden Alchemy, that's what I was looking for. Like, other than Alchemy, I'm not sure what else he's running in terms of like graveyard. He probably has Snapcaster, so it's probably a safe bet that that Grafdigger's Cage is still good. So now we pretty much need to win this next turn. So if we pretty much need to draw land. If we draw land here, I think we win, because then we go O-Ring, Honor the Pure, get there. There's the land. I think that's it. We could even like trick him into paying 2 life to get the Spellskite anyways. But I think we just get the Spellskite. And then, let's see, that's 6, 12, 15, just enough. That should be game. Cool. So yeah, the first match with this deck here. Go ahead and adjust the land count a little bit here. I think we added 1 too many planes. There we go. Yeah, so kind of the reason we're still running Haunt, we do have a lot of creatures, and I think Haunt is really good in the control mirrors, or the control matchups, I should say. So, you know, having access to like 2/2 or 3/3 flying tokens on a regular basis seems like a pretty good game, especially with Honor the Pure. So I think we gotta have that. Yeah. So, anyways, I will hopefully be doing a 4-round daily at some point here soon. But hope you guys like the new deck, and should be doing a couple more soon. Kind of the next thing I'm really kind of preparing for is they have a Star City Games regional, I think, or some sort of qualifier next weekend here in Minneapolis. So we should check that out. And then I think there's actually a Star City Open tournament coming up on the 1st of September. So this is kind of the next big things we're preparing for. But I will see you guys next time.